So the Cannes Film Festival is over for another year, and at the moment all the magazines are full of the overviews written by journalists who spent the last 2 weeks in the south of France. Now, as you know, this year for me was a no-can-do year. I didn't go. Looking at some of the reports, it seems like it was pretty much business as usual. Terrence Malick won the Palme d'Or. Angelina Jolie made some unintentionally funny comments about the serious undertones of Kung Fu Panda 2. And Kirsten Dunst won an award for doing a performance as person who most didn't want to be where she was while sitting next to Lars Von Trier telling a packed conference that he was a little bit of a Nazi. Pretty much what you'd expect from Cannes. And I asked you to suggest some screenings that were going on here that we could kind of say when people came back from Cannes, oh, you were in Cannes, look what you missed while you were here. Well, most of you joined in. Some of you had some contrary views. This from Will Chadwick. Oh yeah, I was so excited that I couldn't go to Cannes this year. I mean, who cares? All I'm missing are new movies from Terrence Malick, Pedro Almodovar, Lynn Ramsey, Lars Von Trier, Nick Refn, The Dardennes, Takashi Miike. I mean, who in their right mind would want to go to a film festival like that? Well, the point is, there was loads of great stuff happening here in the UK. This from Mike Wayne. Who needs Cannes when you live in a small, dull suburban town in between Nottingham and Derby? Some films showing at the Broadway Cinema and the Media Centre include Dario Argento's The Bird with the Crystal Plumage and Tenebrae, which is a cracking double bill. My Dog Tulip, which loads of you wrote in to flag up a very, very interesting, charming animation about a man and a dog. Takashi Miike's 13 Assassins, I'm seeing this tonight and I'm very excited about it. Upside Down, the Creation Record story, which was pretty good. And at the Derby Quad, Meek's Cutoff and Adele Blanc Sec. Lewis Cook 13 offers the Gulbenkian Cinema and the University of Kent, Canterbury has a few interesting movies coming up. At Lenny, the Uruguayan horror The Silent House, which I know everybody else really liked. I was kind of divided about it. It's an interesting idea. It was all meant to be done in one take. Clearly wasn't. They said it was. Clearly wasn't. And the Belgian animation, A Town Called Panic, I'm sure that could knock the socks off anything which will be showing at Cannes. One of my favourite animations due to how bonkers it is, surrealism at its best. I really loved A Town Called Panic. Over here it was presented by Hammer and Tongs, and it was one of those things that reminded you of the madness of Dougal and the Blue Cat, which remains one of my favourite animated features of all time, as I may have mentioned. Mega points out that the Hyde Park Picture House in Leeds was showing Soylent Green. It's people! And this from Singer Island. Here's a curveball. Will Mark Kermode be missed in Cannes? I think the answer to that is no. Of course, on the Lars Von Trier issue, I kind of wish that I had been at that press conference because, again, as many of you will know, I got thrown out of the screening of Lars Von Trier's The Idiots back in the 90s. I hated that film. I thought it was just complete nonsense. And there was a moment in it when suddenly it trips over into hardcore pornography and the Cannes crowd were very, oh, bravo, masterpiece, how daring. And I suddenly lost it and I started swearing at the screen in French, got thrown out. Von Trier obviously has completely blotted his copybook this time. He's actually been told that he is persona non grata in Cannes now for his ridiculous comments about Nazism that he made in that press conference. But remember, Von Trier does this sort of stuff all the time. He said that one of his films was shot in automovision. No, it wasn't. He was just making it up. He said that Breaking the Waves was a serious film. No, it wasn't. It was a piece of rubbish. He said that whilst he was shooting Antichrist, he was suffering severe depression and had to spend ages in hospital. Oh, come off it. Don't take anything he says seriously. And as far as the Nazi thing is concerned, it just goes to show when people are in Cannes, their judgment is shot, they don't know what they're saying, and they do really stupid things.